Well, hello everyone, guys. Welcome back again for another video in our tutorials on OBS here with me, Mike Jones. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time and checking out these videos. I apologize for the length of the previous one. There's a lot to kind of show and talk about there. So hopefully you found that informative, but I do want to take a moment and add a little bit more information to that we did not cover in that video. So this one should be much shorter. Again, if you ever have questions, please feel free to hit me up at youtube.com/uglyrugger in the comments section, or email or Twitter here at those two URLs there. So let's go ahead and dive into it. So what I want to show you guys today is a little bit more on the transition side of things, because that can be important for your scenes, because we didn't get to talk about multiple scenes in the last video. So let's go to the tutorial screen and where you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. All right. So here's our tutorial screen. Again, please excuse the inception window, but this is our what the scene looks like and what's being recorded. But you will see that I have multiple scenes in here, and if I click on these, it will actually take me to that scene. So I want to, let's say I want to go back to the welcome screen. All I have to do while recording is click it, and then now we have this one that I have set up. So if I have multiple scenes for different purposes, all you have to do when you're recording your videos is just to click onto those scenes, and it will take you directly to it. So think of it like a news broadcast where they go from camera to camera and things like that. If you have that kind of frame of mind, this will make a lot of sense. Let's go back and transition to the tutorial scene. Okay, so that all comes from here. However many you make is what you have access to. So feel free to play around, keep old ones that you can maybe go back to in the future, or you can tweak and make them better. It's up to you. But going between the scenes, there are transitions. This is something we didn't talk about, is how to change your transition. So I'm going to add a new one, and I'm going to call it Luna Wipe, but I'm going to rename it to Watercolor. Okay, what I've done with this is I have already gone through and looked at this long list of transitions. So when we make a transition or change a transition, we get this property screen. Okay, and this property screen has image, softness, invert, and preview. Well, let's just worry about image and preview. So if I click on here and I go down to the watercolor one, which I've already done before I started making this video, I already knew that that was something I wanted to do. I can preview it and see how it's gonna look. When I'm happy, I click OK, and that is now a transition here in my menu called Watercolor. Now, Luna Wipe, I'm going to go ahead and leave that one like it is. But what I want to show you is that you also have this duration. Okay, it's in milliseconds. So if I change this to 200 milliseconds and I transition scenes, okay, that was very, very fast, right? Quick, you saw an animation, but it couldn't tell what it was. Well, if I change this now to back to 1500 milliseconds and I transition, you will see that quick wipe. All right, so let's go back into properties and let's take a look at some of these. We've got all kinds of transitions. So if you're familiar with slide transitions in PowerPoint or in Google Slides, this should make a lot of sense. You just choose the one you like, and let's preview it. So there's burst. It's still going at my set speed of 1500 milliseconds. So if you're trying out new transitions, I highly recommend upping that time frame a little bit. Even if it's slower than what you like for your actual, what you're going to do in your videos, the slower allows you to really see what's happening, so that you can make a really good informed decision on what you like. All right, so let's go down to fan. Oh, that one's kind of neat. Fractional, okay, kind of has that like, not prism, but something very similar. Sinus 9 kind of looks like ooey gooey snot or boogers or goo. And then of course you have your basics like stripes horizontal. Okay, so pretty simple stuff. Let me go here and let me find one that I usually use, which is called Cloud. Preview it, show it to you, and I'm going to go ahead and click that and click OK. Okay, so now Luna Wipe is in here. Okay, and it is now, though, it's going to be that transition we just saw, which is the cloud. If I change my transition, I can do this live while I record it to watercolor. Now we have the watercolor transition. So pretty cool stuff there under transition. So as you navigate through your scenes, which of course are composed of your different sources that we went over in the last video, you can actually change these up. You can also have one more option. If you would like every time you go to this scene to be that watercolor, I can, let me show you. Let's go back. You can have different transitions per scene. So here is my tutorials welcome. I'm going to right click on it. I don't know why it actually moved to it. But let's do it here, the tutorials. Let's make this one. Okay, transition override. Here is my list. I want that Luna wipe to be the transition to this scene every time I come to it. So let's go back to the welcome. Let's say I want to make this one always watercolor. Let's do that real quick with the same process by choosing one of the ones we've saved. And now, every time we switch back, we got cloud, and then we've got wipe. But notice how that timing kind of got off, okay? You're going to have to mess with a little bit of the settings there and make sure that everything looks right when you do it. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and look. Down here, there's a time. Well, it's set at 300 milliseconds. No wonder it went so fast. Change it up. Oops. And now it goes a lot slower, but each time I click on a different scene, it's a different transition. So, hopefully you found that useful. That's something to kind of take your transitions from one content piece to the other, if you have multiple, to the next level. Kind of make that look neat, kind of put some creativity in there, a little bit of fun, and that's really cool. So anyway, that's going to do it for me today with this particular video. This is just a little supplement for the previous long video. And I hope you found it useful. Hopefully you can use it and do some cool stuff and, you know, up that engagement, because that's what we want. These videos are not meant to replace teaching. They're here to help engage the students, but also provide other venues for them to do their learning, whether they be accelerated or behind or right on track. Videos like this that you create can be used for so many different things. So anyway, if you have questions, you know where to hit me up there in the corners. Feel free to ask me any questions you may have, and I will try to get back to you as quickly as I can. Hope you have a great one, and y'all take it easy. I'll see you next time. Peace.